Sour.
Hey. Hello. Hi, Fightful Faithful. How's it going? It's a Tuesday thing. Usually Kate jumps in here and says stuff, and I just ramble until she takes over.
It's
I got a little...
the NXT post show for November 28th. Normally your host is Alex Pulowski, but I think it might be Chris Kringle today and myself, Miss Kate Elizabeth, Miss Kate Fabe. Guys, get in your super chats and your humper chats at humperchats.com. Leave a thumbs up on this video if you would be so kind. It helps people find us in the algorithms. And head over to FightfulSelect.com like thousands of other people literally have in the past 4 days. We have had a huge subscription boost thanks to the return of R-Truth and maybe something to do with CM Punk. I don't know. But R-Truth is a huge draw. Randy Orton's all right too. And CM Punk, I'm home, Brooks, is also back in WWE. Like a lukewarm glass of milk before bedtime with that promo. But the point is, FightfulSelect.com has all the supplementary CM Punk information you could possibly ever want. You also get us doing alternative pay-per-view post shows like we do with everything that isn't NXT. Our NXT stuff is on the main because we hold down this fort. You get Sean's Q&A show as well, which I always feel like is an underrated Fightful Select perk, because if you have a specific question, heck, he will go and try and find it for you. Also, news earlier, speaking of Phillip Brooks, that broke that Bryan Danielson headed the committee to have that guy fired. So tons of information over there. I'm sure we'll be getting more stuff as this crazy week and crazy year and crazy life in wrestling unfolds as the Punk turns, as it were. But Alex, you look fantastic.
Thank you. I also sound fantastic.
You do. You've changed. But you've changed into Chris Kringle. And that's the kind of change that we like to see.
It's not even December yet. See, I'm in it early. Eventually, the background you see that looks like the Milky Way galaxy, that's going to all be gone, but there's going to be Christmas lights up there. I just haven't actually... I've been too lazy to actually do it, but I will do it before December, and then for all December there'll be Christmas lights behind there. So.
No, that's like you're good. I feel like if you're like fully operational by December and this is your ramp up, like look at where you are for your ramp up. You look great.
Early, and also
if you don't want to be early,
well, there you go.
It's too early for that ad read,
It's
too
early for that. Hey guys. Home puns.
Yeah, puns about being home.
Puns about being home.
Because I'm just still not over it. Puns about being home. Home feelings, houses, maintaining a place of residence. People are saying Happy Duck Hudson Day.
Apparently, it is the anniversary of Duck Hudson.
It's the anniversary of Duck. Oh my god! I feel like we should almost visit waterfowl puns, but let's do home ones. We don't need to go and retread stuff, even if CM Punk does. But I'm fine with that. Let's do house and home ones. But happy anniversary to the funniest slip of the tongue ever when Alex called Duke Hudson Duck Hudson, which has led to one of our most fun, silliest bits on the show. Also
and most lucrative.
I was going to say, that's like a nice little side perk of it, is that we bring a lot of money.
You don't have to hide that fact. we know we're the cash cow around here.
Look, someone's got to pay for all this incredible Christmas gear that Alex has. Oh man, before we get into anything, we have to talk about Lexus King's chair, and then we can go into our usual rhythm, but I can't not talk about the chair immediately.
We used to talk about the chair.
Alex, he had a throne that slid forward.
Yeah.
I thought the Cody Vader was over the top, and this guy comes in with a sliding chair.
No, for his first match on that, whatever the play was, where he beat Dante Chen, he had the same sliding throne. He was doing risky business while seated. Down do 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 do. do Lexus King. Like that's what it was. And I
Just
was
take
like,
that facial hair off
your
your face.
face.
Please, for the love of God. I forgot about that. It is a choice of a way to enter a ring. Why are you sitting down on your way to the ring? I am not hyped to see you if you're like, huh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
It's
don't
a
know.
sliding throne, Alex.
Mm-hmm. This is good. So we're starting here. Good. Lieutenant Photo starting us off. Lieutenant Photo. Here we go. Home to Sweet Home. That's good. Yeah, it's good. ENR.
Riccaboni.
Probably Riccaboni.
It's probably Ian Riccaboni. There's no other person it can be.
There's like a 92% chance it's Riccaboni. Obviously, no other name. No last names start with the letter R.
No.
Says this is my official super chat for Kate's kindness of singing for me last night.
Oh,
So there you go.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. There we go. So Ricardo, the reindeer game master, said Dom made me vomit. I'm allergic to green vanilla. So
Vomit Nick Mysterio? Is that something? Is there something there? Can we find it?
Vominic Mysterio? I mean, honestly, vom. You know,
yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna vom.
Dirty vom, Verdi vom, something like that.
Kaza86 says Punk will be on NXT the next time AEW is on a Tuesday, for sure.
100%.
And then he's gonna be like, you know what? I'm home.
Like
he's never actually spent any time in NXT. That's the point. It's a joke.
It was me, Christian Cage, and Bryan Danielson here.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to find new ways of using this.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a scarf, but it doesn't actually cover anything. Look how narrow this is.
You look like a cheerful basset hound.
That's me. That's me. So Luis saying he'll probably face Pillman Jr. So
of course,
when he shows
over
up,
that like Starbucks tweet exchange they had. Which honestly, that was a W for Punk. I can't even.
So Tony D and Stack start off the night. This is the first time I think we were going to get to see the new Perros del Mal, or whatever they're going to call themselves, Garza and Carrillo. By the way, Booker T is still calling him Carrillo.
Yeah.
A week later.
We're not dumb or racist.
Somebody told him his name is Carrillo. And either he is insisting upon pronouncing it that way, Carrillo, or he just can't get it into his head.
No.
That when he looks at a guy's name on the paper, like, can you write it out for him phonetically? Carreeyo, Carrillo. Like he'd figure that out, right?
We are both. Dare I say, you actually do have some Hispanic blood, but we are primarily extremely white. Right. And for some reason, and it happens in AEW with Andrade El Idolo too, people just can't. It's not hard.
Listen, I remember very well when he was Andrade El Idolo.
El Idolo, yeah.
El Idolo, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's get it together, white people. You clap on 2 and 4 during songs, and you pronounce things a little differently.
Listen, Booker T, definitely not a white person. Definitely not a white person.
That is a very fair point.
So non-Latinos.
Non-Latinos,
yeah. But we didn't get a chance to see their real entrance because the family ran down and attacked them during the entrance. So I didn't get to see their new cool gear or any of that stuff. I guess we'll have to wait until they're on the main roster backing up Santos Escobar, because that is the next time I think we will see them.
I think you're right. And that does not make me mad at all. That is a stable to be messed with, my friends.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I love that we got we got a House of Black from Kim Gray.
Oh, yeah.
Home Buns. House of Black. There you go.
This is perfect.
That's good. I like that. So the match was fun.
That was great.
I was watching and being like, mean, the way that they could the sheets reporting that it's going to be, them coming to the main roster to back up Santos. Let's throw him off the scent. Let's put the tag titles on him for a week and then give him back to Tony D and Stacks it a little bit, like we did with Gamblers University or whatever they're calling it. We'll figure that out. I'll figure that part later. But I thought to myself, they might actually do it. There were a lot of really great near falls. There was a blatant low blow followed by a not so blatant low blow in return. Garza hit a J driller on Stacks. It's a damn fine little match here. But the family retains, and I think we both are of the opinion, although it should be noted, I have been listening back to our catalog of NXT reviews. We are not exactly batting 1,000 on our predictions of when people will be called up to the main roster. Obviously, literally 2 years ago, they can't keep Bron in NXT forever. Apparently, yeah, they can. So now
there has been 4 changes of power in that time. Worth noting. Cut us some slack, but we are not so great on the people are going to get called up timeline, largely because it's been like LA Knight and nobody else. The Creeds finally went up.
Yep.
Have we seen any of the women get called up on NXT? No.
Zoe.
And I guess Indy.
Yes. Although she got called up while injured, and it was all very confusing.
Yeah, it was very weird. This is so it's a little funky here in the old NXT, but it sounds like there's a creative plan, and they were already main roster acclimated, so bringing them back is a little bit different.
Alba and Isla called up. Not used.
Are they?
Never used, but called up. So
are they
actually,
called up?
Technically, Von Wagner called up to the main roster as back in May.
Well, he's not a lady
agent. So
he's not a lady.
I'm just saying, there were people been called up, just not the people we thought that were going to call up.
The draft is a sham. But yes. Ivy with the Creeds, yes. I guess all of Diamond Mine. But so the tag match was great. Yeah, that Tiger Driver, J Driller stuff that is very much what we in the industry call Kate's shit. That's the wrestling jargon for it. It was awesome.
Yep.
Also, I say this about AEW when they do it, very fun to open up a show with a tag team match that's high energy and fun. That's a really, really fun direction to go, because I don't know, tag matches are just exciting when they're great.
Yeah, it's true.
Apologize to Will Ospreay. He's not the only one using the Tiger Driver out there, people.
I do like everyone giving us all of the people who were called up to make us wrong. However, the original point that I was making is that we are really bad about deciding who's going to be called up.
Yes.
And literally everybody you're mentioning here in the chat, we thought there was no chance they were going to be called up, and yet they were.
Yeah, well, come on. Maxine Dupree, she was in NXT and pointed twice and then got called up.
We did not see that coming.
There were not reasonable conclusions to paths that people are giving in NXT for the past little bit. But I think Carrillo and Garza being called up to back up Santos is a really, really fun call. That is a tag team that has one guy who feels like a badass workhorse and one guy who's just oozing charisma at every turn. Sean has said this, and I agree that each one of them has what the other one doesn't, in that they supplement each other very, very well. I love when I see that. I see that with the Young Bucks. I think Nick is the in-ring all-star and Matt is all facial expressions and selling. It's a really nice balance with teams like that. And to have Santos leading the charge behind two guys or in front of two guys like that is a really, really compelling combination to me, and one that should be on the main roster, because these guys got sent back to NXT because they had nothing to do, not because they weren't main roster ready superstar talents. Like they're going to do extremely well when they get called back up. Now that there's a better plan in place for them.
Agreed. Nikita Lyons is seen in the audience.
Keep that same energy.
They showed they showed an Instagram post of hers, and like I think it's kind of cool. You know, like you have your social medias, and somebody might use it as part of a little inset thing, and the video is cool of her like kicking the crap out of a heavy bag, while wearing the knee brace. But you don't need the text of the post if it's just hashtag, and it's just like for engagement. It's not she's not saying anything with these hashtags. So you could just play the video and you don't have to give us the text because it was kind of weird.
This is the only thing that matters right now. If you turn the screen upside down, Alex looks like an ant or a ladybug. Yes. I don't care about Nikita Lyons. Put her back in the ring. I am not a straight male thirst trapping over her finisher or her assets. She was pretty good in the ring before she got injured. I hope she's fully recovered and can make it back. But all right. The women's division has surpassed where she's at. Like when she went out, she was a top talent, and Tiffany Stratton was like getting her feet wet. Like it's
I would say the top of the women's division has surpassed her.
Yes,
I think she's certainly beyond a lot of the women that we saw, let's say, in the breakout tournament.
Sure. Yes, very much. Very much.
So I think that there's certainly a place for her. What I would like is if they're going to bring her back to lean more heavily into the kickboxing stuff.
Yes,
and
please.
less into the she's wearing a reverse bathing suit.
She was wearing reverse bathing.
She was. That's what you called it that, and I think it was a great terminology for it.
Thank you. It was a reverse bathing suit. I am right. And yes, I hope they lean into the stuff that makes it seem like she's a wrestler as well, rather than a kickboxer, bouncer, singer, dancer, which is how she was presented to us initially. So hopefully we see more of that. But you know what's so great with this Nikita Lyons stuff, Alex, is
what's that?
She's home.
She is. She's home.
You guys are just going to have to... I got 14 more minutes. I said I got to be pissy about the CM Punk promo for 24 hours. 11 o'clock is when it cuts off.
All right.
So I'm going to get them in now.
Sounds good. So Jambeard wants it to be LWO Hollywood and LWO Wolfpack.
Not mad about it. Let's do it.
Just call them that. Honestly, the guys, Garza and Carrillo, they've already got matching tattoos that kind of fit in with the whole Wolfpack vibe.
They do.
So I was just like, just call it the Wolfpack. It'd be part of Perros del Mal could be Lobos del Mal if you want, like the bad wolves. And then Santos could be the big bad wolf.
He could.
This is all free creative I'm giving you.
There you go. He could blow your house down.
It's not even behind the paywall where I pitched the next steps to make CM Punk actually good in WWE. They'll never do it, but I saved it like I always do. So subscribe to Fightful Select if you'd like to know what they can do to make CM Punk not suck in so far in the WWE.
Subscribe to Fightful Select like 10,500 other people. Just saying.
Honestly, it's kind of upsetting that not everybody is subscribed. You know what I mean? Like that number should be in the low billions.
It should be in the low billions.
Yeah.
And financial circumstances aside, completely sensitive to that. If
Right.
you're able to, it's
I'm
like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like, what? Don't you want to be cool?
It's the holidays. Billionaires, don't be like Ebenezer Scrooge. Donate money to all the poors so they can afford a subscription to Fightful Select, because they're not going to get that kind of great scoops and our brand of hyper constructive criticism and silliness anywhere else, except for here, I guess. Well, but that's only a taste. It's only a taste. To get the real stuff, That's to get the real stuff. You got to go behind the paywall.
It's true. There's a bit of like bonus content behind there too. So
there is. So oh yeah, billionaires subscribe to Fightful Select and select the $50,000 tier or whatever.
Yeah, please do that. And just if billionaires just pay us a bunch of money, we could probably start giving stuff away for free.
Honestly, yeah. That's yeah, we would do
favorite
that.
Billionaire to chalk up hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, and then you guys could just get it for free. So
listen, tweet at Musk. He's not busy right now. You should totally just have him just drop a couple of cool $1 billion. He'll never miss it.
No. Anyways,
but make sure you say, "Hey Musk, I'm tweeting at you." He loves it when you call it Twitter.
Yeah,
loves it. Jerry Lawler, listen, I'm not going to make fun of the man because he just went through a health episode. But because he went through a health episode, maybe the live video and obviously recorded audio isn't the best way. I don't know. You got a lot of just Hall of Famers hanging around. Put a microphone in front of those people. It felt I just did not feel right about watching him struggle through this.
Yeah, that was a weird choice because you could have just had anybody else even say like, I spoke to, if you had JBL come back, I spoke to Jerry the King Lawler, Michael, and just he could write in his vote, or you could get literally any other one of the, to your point, backstage Hall of Famers that you have back there. Very, very odd. Hey, CM Punk's back. Have him come back and switch it up a bit. This felt weird. But just hope he gets better because he did not look like super well in that video.
No. He made his picks. He did say Kelani Jordan has really impressed me. And that was the only thing he said about Kelani Jordan. And then he went to this big, long thing about Kiana James. And so we get that. And I was like, so Roxy's coming out to ruin this for Kiana because Kiana ruined it for her. Little did I know how she was going to do it. Listen, the ring bell got more screen time on this episode of NXT than most people have, than Apollo Crews has gotten in the entirety of the time since he's been back up on Raw. The ring bell tonight got more screen time. The ring bell is involved in 2 separate storylines. Apollo Crews can't even get on television. I feel really bad for Apollo Crews. The ring bell took his spot, man. He got called up and the ring bell took his spot.
The ring bell's earned it, though. The ring bell has been there so consistently every day, putting in the work at the PC. Yeah. Came up through Level Up. The ring bell's a star in the making. You're sleeping on the ring bell. It deserves a screen time. It earned it.
Yeah.
Poor Apollo Crews.
She started ringing the main event never counts as TV, Ryan Sullivan. It counts as like streaming that nobody watches. So same thing with Level Up. So that's not television. So unfortunately. Darius saying the ring bell's been grinding for years.
It has been grinding for years.
It's true. It spent like 15 years on the indies. Working for a hot dog and a hammer shake, and he paid his dues. Damn it!
The ring bell is sick of being serviceable, okay, and reliable.
He's not just a good hand. He knows what he knows what's up.
It's true.
So listen. In the middle of the match with Kiana beating the shit out of Kelani, she hit her finisher on her and then was going to do a different move to her for some reason. Like, I hit you with my finisher, now I'll hit you with another move.
You're gonna get double hit with moves, yeah.
And then we get a ding ding with the ring bell going, and Kiana looking at the ref like, "What did you call for the bell? I didn't pin her." And we pan over, and it's Roxy, who's been banging on ding 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 dingity ding 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 on the ring bell. She's got this big old smile on her face. It's so nice. She's so happy to be doing this. And Kiana is now the heel gets to be the dumb baby face. Isn't that nice?
It's sweet.
Yeah. Dumb baby face syndrome is catching. Talk to your doctor if you think you might have been in contact with a dumb baby face, because the syndrome is catching. It's contagious.
Honestly,
and it looks like Kiana James has caught a terminal case of dumb baby face syndrome because she was distracted by a ring bell.
Sad. Get vaccinated, people.
And she got dropped by Kelani and the split-legged moonsault. That's it.
Get vaxxed against dumb baby face syndrome. Okay. It's science. But here's what I was thinking about with the ring bell, because it's really the star of the show today, as you said. Sometimes, like, your own bell is not ringing. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a little bit of a dud. The hammer doesn't strike the way you're looking for it to strike. And you want it to be ringing loud and proud. Because you want to get yourself in an embarrassing situation where everybody's expecting some big finish and you're not ringing as loud as you want to. Sometimes you need a little bit of help.
Hello. Do you have a limp penis? A difficulty getting it erect? Boy, do I have a product for you. Bluechew.com and the code Fightful will help fix that. Bluechew has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. But they work a lot faster because it's a chewable. It's also much more affordable. Use that promo code Fightful. Get your first shipment free. Just pay $5 shipping. One of the best parts, it's discreet. No awkward in-person doctor's visits. You don't have to go to the pharmacy. It's shipped straight to your door when approved by an online physician. You want to check this out. It will help you. It is a good product. It will make your sex life better. Bluechew.com and the code Fightful.
Snacking on some holiday dots that were left over from last night. Listen, go to your local Dollar Tree. Or I guess $1.25 tree.
The buck and a quarter tree. Yeah. Someone put a bunch of video clips into our stuff, by the way. And our little brand. I'm gonna call Sean into my office because he told us a few months ago we gotta clean it up.
Yeah.
And now he's polluting our brand.
Yeah.
Get it out of take a pause.
Can't have that.
By the way, that was not stolen creative. That was not gimmick infringement with that super chat. I had the video queued up in a different section ready to go. But Jambeard with if you need help getting your bells rung, Bluechew is code Fightful. So I just want you to know we're on the same wavelength, me and you, Jambeard. I wasn't trying to like stifle your great creative there. We are just simpatico. That's what's up.
American Alpha Academy. I always do that.
I know, it's very easy to do.
They call out Metaphor for a 6-person tag. And Metaphor accepts. I need Otis to stop threatening sexual assault.
Yeah, it's weird.
On Lash Legend. I just need it. I need it to stop. I mean, listen, you can say I'm overreacting. I don't know, man. Like he's like, her name was mentioned during their promo and he starts licking his lips and thrusting the air. I don't know what you think is implied by that, but if she does not like that, he has to stop. Any other workplace, if he was doing that, he'd be fired for it. You cannot thrust your hips in the air when you think about a coworker while at work. Don't do that.
Okay, but what if I told you he's the babyface?
Well, and she is a heel. And
So
uppity. I mean,
she's basically asking for it. It's uncomfortable. Like it's I don't understand why a babyface is gyrating in the air and licking his lips at a woman who has repeatedly rejected him. Even on like the lighter end, like if you don't want to go as far as sexual assault or whatever, like even on the light end, you're a freaking creep still. Like you're creepy and you're weird, and I don't find it lovable or laughable at the slightest.
The guys who are in charge on every level of WWE programming came up in the era where if the heel had a valet, she was fair game for the babyface to grab and plant a kiss on her against her will, and the entire arena cheered. And the people who came up during that era have not outgrown that impulse. We have, as a society, I would hope, have outgrown it, but these guys haven't.
Yes.
So,
and I appreciate you saying that, by the way, because it's annoying to be the girl that always has to call these things out. So thank you. And in addition to that, too, like, it also just waters down Otis. Like they've gone, to your point, back and forth so many times with is Alpha Academy face heel? Are they credible? Or are they not? I don't like it. He's very funny. Like he has genuinely good comedic timing. Remember when they had that like remember they had the barbecue segment and he dropped something on his shirt and like the way he just picked it up and put it in his mouth. Like he's very funny. Don't fall into the trap that Vince's creative was under of if you're funny, you're not anything else. You're just this one dimension. And when the one dimension is that gross, it really, really undercuts it. And he's a good in-ring worker. He's a good big guy. He moves well. Just give him some more dimension, and definitely not. If you're only going to give him one layer, can we not make it this layer, please?
Yeah.
Please.
It's just not necessary. There's other things you can do with the character. There's no reason for this to be it. So do something else.
Lash's biggest strength is her charisma.
Yeah.
Like play into that instead of just squashing her with this like uncomfortable angle.
Here's something I came up with in 5 minutes. Like, what if he actually has eyes for her as opposed to licks his lips and thrusts the air?
Yes.
What if he like brings her flowers? And
what if it's so cute?
What if she's smart enough to lead him on just long enough to help screw over the team that he's on? And then there you go. And he gets his heart broken, so we root for him. And then Maxine gets to body slam her and pin her, and then we're like, okay, cool. Now you're like, what? I don't know. Came with that in 5 seconds. It's a lot better than him thrusting the air and licking his lips. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, most things are not to undercut your creative there.
Yeah.
But most things are. Alex.
Yeah.
The most important thing to remember is that Chad Gable, who was in NXT for a while and has been on the main roster for a while, he's now home.
Yeah.
And I think that we should maybe start in on some puns.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay.
I like this one a lot. Alpha Bill, of course.
Oh.
Drew McIntyre.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
Meet Norma says House of Black Mold. Get an independent contractor for that, people. House of Black Mold. You don't want to be messing around with the black mold.
No, you do not. No. That is very dangerous, and you should not be living in that residence.
Yep. I also like this. This is wholesome. Lieutenant Photo. Jay White Picket Fence.
Oh, how cinematic. How idyllic.
Yeah, exactly. So nice. So I like this one from Lieutenant Photo. Who am I? I am Keith Leese. Instead of mansion, Meechin from True Infamous.
Okay, I'll take that. Like a haunted Meechin.
Yeah, that's good. Ian Riccaboni, Jinder Mahalway. And the TikTok twins, the TikTok tag team, TikTok twin beds.
Oh, very good. That's excellent. Well done.
Dax hardwood floors.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. And Alpha Lieutenant Photo says Dax hardwood floors, and Alpha Bill says Dax hardwood floors.
Close enough. Yeah, no, that's okay. Optional D, and if you don't want your D to be optional, bluechew.com code 54.
Right, exactly. I like that. Here we go. Alpha Bill, open house rules.
Very good. A lot of House of Black ones. I like this.
CO says the ring. It's a doorbell.
Oh.
The ring doorbell. There, the ring bell. The ring doorbell. There you go. True Infamous bringing in some NFL puns. True Infamous says Patrick Mahomes sweet home. Fine. You know what? Just mix anything. I don't care. It's funny. Chris Pereira says tent Beretta.
That's very good.
Or I think I saw a rent Beretta in here somewhere, which is also very good. Let's see here. Insert Clevin Tegan Knox pun says utilities Ganox. Utility Ganox.
Ah, excellent. So reliable with the Tegan Knox puns.
So good. So then we got House of Black from Kim Gray. We got in that one. We got Lieutenant Photo Home to Sweet Home. Lieutenant Photo also. Ward low interest mortgage rate.
I think
it. Matthew Hooks, the underwriter.
Underwriter. Undefeated.
I'm also I'm gonna do a little
editorial
reconstituting. Yeah, of this one from you, Hooks. The loan accountant, not the porn accountant, because he said home accountant. I was like, I like the N at the end. This is good. I like both. Alpha Bill says veneer, like not the veneer, but the veneer. This veneer is a great one. Coming. Lieutenant Photo, thank you for your service and thank you for these puns. Mid-century modern. I made sure to give you that one as you were taking a drink.
Because I'm the mid and I'm century modern. That was very
mid-century modern is so good.
That was very waiter timed by you. Well done.
Oh, Chris Pereira. It's Marseille and Mansion.
Oh, very good. Speaking to my heart, because we love Mansoir in this house.
We love Mansoir. Ian Riccaboni, of course, says Techno down payment Team 2000.
Thank you for my Techno Team 2000 pun.
Ricardo, the reindeer game master, something I know all too well from my post grad school days. Best friend's couch.
Bounce, take the bounce. Best friend's couch.
Best friend's couch. Mate Norma says cul-de-sac maintenance punk.
Well, I mean, where do you feel more home than on the cul-de-sac, really?
Oh, it's so true. It's so idyllic. True Infamous says Shannon Mortgage. CO says CM Junk Drawer.
Tell me about it.
That's where he belongs. Where's that promo belong anyway? Electric Mayhem says Alex Lloyd Wright. Not Frank Lloyd Wright, but Alex Lloyd Wright, the most famous architect of American history. Ian Riccaboni says Indus Share B&B.
My favorite commentator and great with puns. What do you say?
Alpha Bill, his first one he sent in was Leon Roof.
That's very good.
Not Leon Ruff, which is very, very good. And this one I like a lot too. Lieutenant Photo says Tour of the Kitchen Islands. That came from Lieutenant's wife. Thank you for your service as well. We know how
Yes.
difficult it is for military spouses.
Yeah, of course. That's why
and
she's
then-
watching Jeff Cobb matches at home, which I respect.
So let me see here. Let me see if I can find it, because this is the one. This is the leader in the clubhouse, guys. Honestly, we will. Hold on. See if I can find it in here. I want to put it up on the screen because it is so damn good. I nearly lost my composure while just glancing at it in the chat. Bam Bam Bungalow. That is your pun to beat, ladies and gentlemen.
It is.
Bam Bam Bungalow is your pun to beat. Honestly, I do want to start doing this because you guys are so good with these. I think that you and I should keep a tab of what we think is the best, and then announce it at the end of the night, so everybody can kind of compete to see who could win. You know?
Oh my god! And then we could have a pun off once a month or something.
We could do something like that. We could decide who had the best pun of the entire month or something. You know?
I would even say today, because it's the anniversary of Duke Hudson. If you have a Duke Hudson one,
wow,
it's double points.
Wow!
And now the points, much like Whose Line Is It Anyway? That fun little show. The points don't matter; they're not real. But you get twice as many of the nothing if it's a Duke Hudson one. But your leader right now, Bam Bam Bungalow.
Yeah.
And to this, I will say,
yep,
my time is up technically on the being sour about the CM Punk promo.
Right.
Did I specify what time zone? I did not.
No, you did not.
And one might also say my time is up. My time is now.
Your time is now. Your time is always now.
Can't see me.
You can't do that.
My time.
Okay.
I said it off. I'm so happy.
It's like a Pavlov response here. Okay. So, the Metaphor has accepted Otis's and Jack Gable's challenge. That's fine. So that was good.
Look, I know the no armed arm matches haven't been great because they've been so interference heavy.
But at least now,
God, does he look good?
He does, and at least now it's a 6-person mixed tag, so there's going to be it's entirely shenanigans based. I only have a problem with it when it is a match that is supposed to rule out the existence of shenanigans, and yet it is so much shenanigans. So,
Alex, as soon as we said Bam Bam Bungalow,
I mean,
Zillow Nightingale is right there, dude.
That is really close.
That is right there.
That's 1A and 1B. Okay.
That really is. Yeah, no, that's whew.
Bam Bam Bungalow and Zillow Nightingale is
what a 1-2 punch. What an alley-oop of the puns today.
Yeah, man.
You guys rule.
Wow.
This is turning into Sophie's Choice. I love you guys. Wrestling, okay. Right. We should talk about it.
The anonymous thing got a hold of the security footage, which saw Trick going through a door, and then Lexus King looking around a corner and then following him through said door at a rate of speed. It does not show him attacking him, which can only mean he did not attack him. So what I would like to know is, why did he say he did? Why did Baron Corbin say, wow, you attacked Trick Williams? He said, yes, I did do that. Is it because he's an agent of chaos? Is it because he is a loose cannon? But that cannot be the case, since he is nothing like his father.
I think it is passed down. I think he doesn't want to be, but darn it, Alex, I don't think he has a choice. I would like to know why it took a month to produce the security footage.
I don't know, man. Maybe there was a like triple firewalled, like they had to like hack in.
Maybe they had to pay off NXT Anonymous. I hate the NXT Anonymous thing, and I don't think I've been vocal enough about it. So
No.
instead, I'm going to lean extremely hard the other way and just love it and be like, oh my God, what did NXT Anonymous bring to the table today?
I want to say, again, it's one of those things where you start thinking back of how long stuff has been going on without a resolution to it, or it's just been going on so long we accept it and don't realize what this is a weird thing that's been going on so long. Anonymous has been like tweeting stuff out about stuff happening backstage for months and months and months and months and months and months. Are we any closer to finding out who this is? Are we ever going to find out who this is? Is that the point to this? That eventually we're going to find out who NXT Anonymous is?
Oh my God, it's going to be Scripps.
I mean, it's possible.
Once he manages to get out the mud, he's going to be NXT Anonymous.
You know what? Trick and Hayes are really mad backstage, but not mad enough, says Trick, to mess with Lexis King in his match later tonight. He won't do it.
You're gonna mess with someone who slides out on a chair?
Trick is hold on, I can do that better. I can do that better. Hold on. Trick says, "Oh, we don't do that anymore. We don't attack people from behind, distract them during their matches. We don't do that anymore." Who's we, Trick? Because you were the one doing that for all of Mello's matches. Now you're above it all. But I see how it is. Oh, you've changed. You've changed. You're a different person now. I'm sorry, not buying it.
I've changed is something that I've already heard enough this week. Next time someone gets cranky at you for your wrestling takes, which in fairness, we bring the crankiness up front. I'm just going to show them a clip of you removing your Christmas scarf ears to like dig into creative.
I'm so happy I got these, by the way.
I'm so happy to too. I'm the happiest Christmas tree.
So, if Carmelo turns heel, he should reference that, says Luis.
Yes.
That whole like you did all this, and now we don't do this anymore because you say so. You were the one who did all that stuff. You didn't have a problem with it before. So, but Trick does want to smack Lexis King, but he can't because it's only a week from Saturday. Is this deadline thing?
That's true.
I can't risk it all by getting involved. I'll do it after deadline. What he says. And I wonder if Carmelo agrees with them. I wonder. Andre Chase delivered a press conference. And do you want, like, Kate, it's been about 9 months since Duke Hudson.
I'm sorry, who?
Duck Hudson won an MVP trophy for being the MVP of Chase U in a match against the Schism.
He's the MVP of Chase U.
He is still carrying the MVP trophy around with him literally everywhere.
Well, I'm sorry, you are bad at being proud of your accomplishment.
Thousands of people who are watching this show every week now that Dominic's there every week and Becky had a stint there and Gargano's on it this week. People who started watching it during the whole, we're going to send everybody from Raw to think, and that we're not watching it before, who just see this tall guy with an Australian accent. Why? We don't know. Who's apparently like the kid brother of a guy who runs a university. Why does he have a trophy? They'll never bother to explain it. Honestly, I don't even know how you would explain it. How do you explain a grown man in his mid-30s, carrying around a giant bowling trophy literally everywhere he goes? I just don't.
Maybe you don't understand because you're not an MVP, Alex, and you can't even accept compliments. Some people are proud of their accomplishments and they bring their trophies around everywhere they go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, it's real weird. It's real weird too, just because we also have the Heritage Cup.
We do.
So there's a lot of people carrying trophies around unnecessarily.
Yeah. Andre Chase, though, finally gives us what he's accused of, although
hey,
it is not like immediately clear to me. Like the details of it are too scant. And he says it's an ongoing investigation, so I can't comment on it too much, but it's a gambling scandal and a misuse of public funds, which the university is incredibly in debt, and he has to pay back these debts so that he can then so what it is that the government funding being given to this fake university, he has used to gamble on what we don't know. Somebody has used to gamble. Duke Hudson makes it look like he was the one who gambled it.
he was
JC
a poker
Jane
player.
makes
That's
it
at
look
least
like
canon.
makes it look like she was the one who gambled it. Thea Hale is basically just chewing her nails like crazy. They all look very guilty. Perhaps all of them gambled away the fortune. But they does not say who he's in debt to, but it's got to be Tony D and Big Ange, right? That's the only people it could be. But I mean, I don't. What?
I am if this goes to Big Ange, I am so in on this angle. I don't know why your students would be standing up there during a press conference with you.
I don't know either.
It's very weird. When JCJ just had her head down, I'm like, do you even go here? Like, all you did was take Thea Hale and kind of turn her heel, but she's still mostly a face. And Duke Hudson, MVP as he is not like an admin. I don't understand why your students are standing up there with you for this. But I'm glad we got an explanation. And I'm actually, if it's them and Tony D and Stacks and Big Ange, I kind of like that because we haven't really had a bunch of story around one of the best storytellers in NXT and Tony D. Like we have not had an angle since the coffee stuff.
Right.
So I think it would be, that's like the kind of fun and silly that is more for me than is not for me. Because I think you could actually do a pretty fun story with it. As long as they tell the story soundly, which is where the big, the old if comes in, Alex.
So
I just hope when Mr. Chase gives us an update, he's like, I've changed.
Right. Yeah.
I went to Gamblers Anonymous and now I'm home.
Yeah. I can no longer say they're not telling us what it is. They've told us what it is. Now I need them to finish the story.
You just said the magic phrase.
I did.
I feel like a game show, like confetti should drop and balloons. Because you organically said what it means.
I don't care enough about these people and this act to donate my time to watching it.
Good, because they'd probably gamble it away even if you did donate your time.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, this is very good too. Yeah, we definitely need an IRS cameo for a Chase U segment.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I'm in on that.
Yeah. So we got our men's Iron Survivor qualifier, Bron Breakker versus Eddy Thorpe, and I was like, I'm nervous about this. I'm nervous about this because it to me, I don't think you can have these Iron Survivors things with all these newbies in it. And I like Eddy Thorpe a lot, but like Bron Breakker should be in a major match for Deadline. As long as he's on in NXT for some reason, he should be a prominent player in it. I want him to win the whole thing because I want him versus Dragunov, and him getting Dragunov to try and get his title back, but losing to Dragunov in an amazing match. That is the perfect time to call him up to the main roster, have him debut in the Royal Rumble. It's right there, please.
Two things about that. Him versus Dragunov would be incredible. They would beat the ever-living dog shit out of each other.
Yep.
The other thing about that is we're really good at timelines for when people get called up. So you're probably dead on about that.
Obviously. Yeah.
That legitimately would be, though, like to go out on a loss to Dragunov as a heel, even though he's a heel, and you have a heel on heel versus matchup because there was a match with stakes in it that Bron Breakker happened to have won.
Right.
And he beat Von Wagner, God bless. Having him like then move up is the goal.
Yeah. I guess I need you to answer this question. Okay, are you Taylor Swift?
I don't know, am I?
Scandal has rocked Fightful.
Are the haters gonna hate?
We'll have to see. So
I love Travis Kelce. What?
Bron Breakker won. This is like clean, like just clean. Like he was beating Eddy Thorpe all over the ring. Eddy Thorpe came in with damaged ribs, taped up after the thing last week versus the Catch Point guys, Dempsey and Gulak, and they mentioned it throughout the match that he was obviously hurt, banged up, right? So I thought they were going to come in and cost him the match, and Bron Breakker wouldn't give a damn about how he won the match. He would absolutely accept the help from other heels and do that. It would be fine. It wouldn't ruin his character at all. It's a perfectly fine thing to do. But instead, they did what I hoped they would do, and instead of having the heels cost him the match by distraction or attacking him when the ref's back was turned or whatever, and do it in the moment, they allowed the heels, having gotten the better of him last week and left him with lasting damage, to tell the story in the ring with his opponent and let that be the reason why he lost. It is so rare that anybody in WWE does that, let alone in NXT, that I was honestly shocked by it. I mean, yeah, it's awesome.
Like they assumed we were smart about something, Alex.
It
was wild.
He got hit with one spear and he was done. And that's honestly what they should be doing.
It was really good. And Eddy Thorpe is great. And I don't think he loses anything in this loss. It was a clean finish. Mm-hmm. There was a reason one opponent was compromised over the other. Bron Breakker is a top talent in NXT. All of this made sense. It was clean. Mm-hmm. It was refreshing. Yep. I was stunned that they just let it happen. And the match was really good too. Like Eddy Thorpe's great. Like he's got a really, really, really fun in-ring style that's for me, right? Like right. I really like the way he works. I think it's a blast here. Mm-hmm. And I hope they do more of this in the future. And Alex, I think we should stop talking about it because I don't want to jinx it.
Right.
I feel like if I go back and watch NXT, that match won't be there because we talked about that it was a clean win from a heel.
Yeah. We got Roxanne walking backstage into the locker room. We were like, "That's right. If I'm not going to Deadline, then Kiana's not going to Deadline either." And then I don't know who it was got up in her face about it, and shoved her, and she threw an elbow, and it was a giant brawl. Kiana came in, and they started turning to each other. They started fighting, and it's just like a big brawl. Spoiler alert: that's the end of the whole night. Is just them brawling in the parking lot. So much so that it does feel like this last chance qualifier may not feature them. It feels like instead, or if it does, they won't win it. Neither of them will win it. It'll be somebody else, and maybe Thea Hale or Horse Girl, and the Kiana and Roxy will have like a no disqualification.
We did, and I think it's important to point this out every time because there's a lot of things we point out time over time, right? Like specific tropes or when agents book their matches the same back-to-back, etc. The most important thing that we can do on the show, though, consistently calling out is when she says "yeehaw, bitch," and she said it again tonight. And it's just very important that we note that.
It is.
Horse Girl is horse girling. She was also the one to be like, "Hey, there's a last chance qualifier next week."
No, well, she did later, but in this thing, the first time we've seen her speak, we saw her. The NXT Anonymous showed her backstage with Paul Heyman, but we haven't seen Ava Raine do anything since like Joe Gacy banned her from his site so that he could become a crazy person. And she's like, she's just another girl in the locker room now, after having been like the right hand woman to a cult leader, and was like, oh yeah, it's just Ava. She's a little weird, but she's okay. And she was like, actually, Roxy, I was talking to Shawn Michaels, and there's going to be a last chance qualifier. So everybody who lost their qualifying match will be in this match next week. And Roxy's like, oh wow, I still have a chance.
Yeah, it was very funny the way that. I don't know, to have Ava Raine tell Roxanne that was kind of odd. I don't know what this extended feud is with the two of them. But it's a little weird. So Horse Girl interrupts a Lyra Valkyria interview. I'm going to win that last chance qualifier, and then I'm going to win a deadline, and then I'm coming after you. I'm going to be your next challenger. I'm like, what happened to Lola Vice? Yes.
She hasn't been on TV. Is she injured? That would suck if she's injured.
That would suck if she's injured, but she has not been on television.
You put her over in the breakout tournament. She's got the at-a-glance contract. She can cash it in whenever she wants. We've seen Carmelo Hayes do that. So like she could just literally just come up and hit Lyra with it and get a title match with her. So.
She also, this brand in particular, is great about women's screen time. She should be having a couple of good matches that are wins to make her feel like a credible threat for whenever that does happen. If she's injured, that would really suck. I hope not. But she is noticeably absent from television in a way that makes me think that maybe she is.
Right. Well, I mean, like Luis says, I think Lyra versus Lola is the deadline match. That's what I thought it was going to be, but
now we have all this. Yeah.
Mention it. Like if that is it, they haven't said on TV Lyra versus Lola deadline. Like, and they only have one more NXT next week. Like, it would be weird if they, I don't know.
She wrestled in a house show against Tiffy and Lyra, so she's not injured, which is good. Glad that's the case. Yeah. But yeah, I certainly hope they would have her, unless Lyra has a match against someone else and she like cashes in her at a glance.
And I don't expect her to win the match. By the way, I just think that it's weird for Fallon to be like, I'm your next challenger, but I guess you could be, depending on how long she decides to keep the at a glance. You know what I mean?
I also am curious because I feel like a lot of people thought Jade was going to show up at Deadline, and now it sounds like maybe Jade is being kept off television.
Right.
The women's title lineage is just so weird. I feel like maybe there was a plan for Becky to put Jade over, and then they were like, she's not necessarily ready in ring to wrestle the way that we want. So then they were like, okay, let's have Becky drop to live.
We have not seen her since Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
She was there for the match between Lyra and her at Halloween Havoc, and then she's not been seen anywhere since. But she was everywhere before that.
She was on all 3 brands
all the time,
interacting with only top talent, with Charlotte Flair, with Becky Lynch, like only top talent.
That's why it feels so weird to me that at the press conference she was like, "Yeah, well, she's not good, but that's not her fault." I mean, he basically said she's not ready yet, but that's not her fault. Oh, did you know this when you signed her and started putting her all over television, like on all the interacting with all these people, or did you only find that out after? Because it's weird that you signed her and made her a big deal, but then haven't mentioned her in a month.
Like ESPN and Sports Illustrated features and things like that.
Yeah.
And then she's just not on television. Now, I will say, if you watched her, if they were like, we saw her on Rampage and she's serviceable enough, Rampage matches can be edited.
Yeah.
And they can be edited as heavily as they need to be or not.
Listen, there are plenty of women who I have seen on television who are worse. So
sure. But my point being, like, if you're gonna make it believable that she's gonna beat Becky Lynch for the NXT title, I don't know. Right. It's tough.
Oh,
so
sure.
I think it's probably the right call to let her get her feet wet a little bit in how WWE does things. But yeah, that is a weird thing to have her be such a huge deal and then just disappear with that explanation. This was also another thing that came right around the same time as Triple H being back in control from Vince. So there's been a lot of things, in my estimation, this year in WWE programming overall that have read as one guy had these expectations, one guy has those expectations. And now seeing the way the women's roster is being used on the main roster, especially, is very different than it was under Vince, and in a very encouraging way. So he might want to say, like, you get one chance to make a true first impression.
Right.
Let's get it right, where Vince might have been more eager to put her out there.
So next week we get our last chance bouts, the Fatal 4-Ways between Rox, Kiana, Thea Hale, and Horse Girl. And then on the other one is Eddy Thorpe, Tyler Bate, who I forgot had a qualifying match, Carmelo Hayes, and Joe Coffey, who I also forgot had a qualifying match. So I'm going with Horse Girl because she had the thing with Lyra tonight, only because of that. But because I think we're getting Rox and Kiana continuing with their thing outside of the deadline. And I'm outside of the deadline. And then I'm hoping for Tyler Bate, but it probably will be Eddie. Because they'll love to, like, oh, he's still got the injured ribs, he's being thrown into the cage by Dijak. They'll want to do something like that, but I'm hoping for Tyler Bate. But Carmelo Hayes isn't getting it because Lexus King's going to cost him, and you're getting Carmelo Hayes versus Lexus King at the pape.
Yeah, sure. I did just want to pull this up. Did $1 billion company not do their research or something? Yeah, if you look at, like, the way that they've named people after German U-boat,
no, they don't do a lot of that.
They're not always the best, but like William Regal's in talent scouting, he should know.
Right, he should. So we got Dragunov, Nathan Frazier. I guess I missed all of the context of Dragunov, that he's, like, left his family in Europe or wherever.
What was out in that wonderful Baron Corbin promo that we got?
Right, but I only saw that part of it. So I guess it's like he's made a sacrifice to, like, be away from his family while he's in the States doing this kind of thing. And then Baron Corbin's like, yes, but I have whiskey and a billiard table. I also kiss my children. And I added on the mouth because he does. And so Nathan Frazier's like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'll respect your sacrifice, but Baron Corbin's got a billiard table, don't he? And whiskey, and he kisses his children every night. He says, Oh my God! I can't wait until I have children to kiss. It's gonna be the greatest day ever. And then Ilya hears him, and so Ilya like gets in his face about it, and then they have a match about it, during which Ilya murders Nathan Frazier 10 times over. If that guy had 9 lives, he just spent them all. Like that is prayers up to 10 times dead Nathan Frazier because Ilya Dragunov murdered him.
Murdered him in his place. Ilya, I tweeted, and a lot of people were like, "Yep, Ilya Dragunov is a bad man."
Yeah, he is.
Like he, for a smaller dude, is a guy that I'm like, I would cross the street if I ran into you, man. Like he is brutal. I adore this guy. It's so funny that he's kind of like tucked away in this brand. I hope people get to see what a phenomenal talent he is, whether that's a main roster call up or somewhere else in the world, because NXT he's doing really wonderful work there, and he's had some great opponents. The stuff with Carmelo's been amazing, but he just deserves to be seen by the world because he's just an underrated, elite, world-class wrestler. And this match, because the story of it was Nathan Frazier is going to get his ass kicked, just was like, the whole point of this is exactly, I in my opinion, the interpretation of it is the conclusion I'm drawing, which is, holy that guy. The point of this match was a reminder that this is one of the most badass dudes on the planet, and it worked beautifully.
I loved Frazier coming back, and it just not mattering because it's Ilya.
Yes.
And Ilya dropping 3 H-bombs on the Isle of Jersey. Seems like overkill. There's not that many people who live there. But he committed all kinds of war crimes on the forehead of Nathan Frazier. If Bob is his uncle, Bob is now his next of kin because that man is dead. And I was watching it, and before that, the handshake at the end maybe swayed me a little bit because I liked the respect at the end. Like you took the beating that you were owed, and I gave it to you, but you took the beating well. It was a little handshake. But before that, I was like, he's doing too much. This, like, you want to chance him to a match, you want to beat him, fine. But this was the 3rd H-bomb was excessive.
That was a lot.
So I was like, I hope this leads to Nathan Frazier getting a real program with Ilya once Ilya is done with Corbin and then probably Bron Breakker, I hope. Then it's Nathan Frazier who's like, I haven't forgotten that beating you gave me. I'm ready to take another one if that title's on the line. And I think Ilya would be like, yes, I respect that. Because like that's what you should do. You take your beating, you come back for more. And I love that Nathan Frazier would take it and lose and be like, is that all you've got, mate? And do it again, and do it again, and do it again until finally he beats Dragunov for that title. Because it's a really cool story. And you started it with this weird little offhand comment, but could actually build to something. And these guys are great together. And because of the way they laid this match out, you didn't really get to see what Nathan Frazier could do in a real match with Dragunov. It could be great.
Stylistically, a blast if they let this thing, they let the wheels off this. Could be really, really fun. But I also just realized Bob is not Nathan Frazier's uncle because Nathan Frazier says Bob's your uncle. So it's not a next of kin situation.
No,
it's very important to clarify that.
I'm saying if Bob was his uncle.
Yeah, if tables were turned, if Bob
if he was saying, and Bob's my uncle, if he was saying that, then that's what we have to deal with.
He just lost a nephew. No, I think they're due for a rematch at some point, and when they do, Nathan Frazier getting to show off his speed and athleticism combined with Ilya's just hard hitting, striking, and the H bombs, like phenomenal. Like that is a matchup that when they let it for real happen is going to be awesome, and they should. And that's a fun follow-up program. I didn't even think about doing it that soon, but that's a really fun follow-up program to Corbin. Like that's a nice next defense for Ilya. Yeah, that could be a real blast, and like gives him something to do outside of, like, he was floating around the Heritage Cup picture for a while and isn't really there anymore. So get him in something consistent would be refreshing.
Nathan Frazier tweeted, "I'm alive," so that's good.
That is actually different than I thought the outcome was. So, God bless.
Baron Corbin interrupted via green screen, supposedly in his palatial estate, but it's obviously a green screen. And he was talking about how, you know, you should just go home to your family and then leave the title behind because I'm gonna beat you up. He says you're obviously a little crazy, and maybe it's getting to you, the pressure of being a champion. Not well. I hope you don't do that to me, which is what a normal person would react to watching that. Anyway,
what I loved about this was Baron Corbin was home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think there's some people that might have some funny words to say about being home. Alex, do you want to read some?
Yeah, I'm gonna read some. We have enough. This is okay. Here we go. To Electric Mayhem, Luis editorializing, and he's wrong. This is your new number one, he says. Adjustable rate mortgage bar, the arm bar. It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
But Zillow Nightingale and
Bam Bam Bungalow are not. I'm sorry. It was good. It's very good.
It's very good.
It's very, very, very good. Top 5, maybe, but that cannot beat those two.
Nah.
Meet Norma saying super kick housewarming party. And this one might be in my top 5 as well. Penthouse Cerro Miedo.
That's really good.
I mean, that one from Meet Normus, that is pun number 69. So we've surpassed 69 now. We've moved on beyond it.
You guys just you know me.
Jambeard, this is not a house pun, but I think it's just Vominic Mysterio Godway, he's still champion.
Yeah, that goes back. If we were doing puke puns, that's
we do
top of the list. We mentioned
Mm-hmm.
Vom Mysterio earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chris Perez says Legion of Room.
That's really good. I really like that.
True Infamous says Chad Gablefront. Living Room Morgan. And Hit Row House.
Very good. Very good. R.I.P. Hit Row. We hardly knew you.
Lieutenant Photo says Dr. Britt Baker, DMD'd. Very good. Very good. Ian Riccaboni sent one in on behalf of Gemini season.
My favorite thing when people send in other people's puns.
Danhausen.
That's very nice, very evil, very top 5 for me.
Yeah. Colt Cabana? You could live in a cabana.
Yeah, sure, I'll take it.
I like this one a lot.
You're
Kate.
smirking.
Escrow Sting.
Very good.
I mean, I don't think it quite beats out Zillow Nightingale or Bungle. It might be number 3. You know?
That's there. It hangs. I can't argue with that.
Bizarro Big L says the world is cold. Better bundle up. If you leave the front door open, better knuckle up. Don't leave the front door open.
Don't do that now.
Jesse Ozog says crumbling masonry punk.
Yeah. Santos escrow bar.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Or just crowbar.
Oh yeah, I love crowbar.
Electric Mayhem says hit row home.
Very good.
Greg Cherry Brand says Northern Lights duplex.
Oh, yep. Top 5.
Oh, these are really good and hard.
You guys, when we were like, this is the one to beat, you guys stepped it way up.
You really did. You really did. That really did. Northern Lights duplex is really, really good. Greg Cherry, that's number 3 for me. Honestly, it might be number 2.
Whoa.
Yeah. Northern Light Duplex is really great.
It is really, really great.
Also, fixed Kate mortgage.
Thank you.
Jambeard says Duckhausen.
See, now that was a daily double.
Yeah.
That was good. Very good.
Chris Pereira says Chris Bay window.
That's really good too.
Jambeard says you just got coffee tabled.
You got coffee tabled.
Mm-hmm. CO says Mansion Jakal Farmhouse. Jakal? Jakai. I can't see what that is.
What's this?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Jakal. Jakal?
I don't know what's
Jacal. I don't know what that is. Jambeard says Beach Break House or Beach House Break.
That's very good.
Jesse Ozog says someone did Swerve's house already, right? Luis Polito did. He said, "Whose house? Swerve's house." Mm-hmm. And Kim Gray says AJ Ranch style home. AJ Styles.
I got you. That's pretty good.
Meet Norma says send house. Our roof.
Our roof like our truth. Okay.
Killings. Yep. And Bron Breakker. You got to break ground on a new house.
Yes, you do.
Chris Pereira says, where does real estate agent take Brock Lesnar take you? To Duplex City. That's
very good. Mm-hmm. That's up there with Northern Lights Duplex. I like the Duplex Suplex energy.
Samavelli says duck houseboat for the anniversary.
See? Double points. Daily double.
Yep. John Wick. Who I want to give credit now because I just listened to the episode where this came up. I've been wondering where we got HBK horrible booking kid from. John Wick. John Wick, one GM. Puns. Horrible booking kid is the absolute best one ever.
Us through weeks of programming.
And this one is also fantastic. John Wick has triple HOA.
That's really
top
good.
10 for sure. Teletra Mayhem says Adam Copeland assessment.
Very good. Very good.
This one is yours, Kate. Kate, I'm calling it now. This might be yours. This might take the whole cake for you.
This is a lot of pressure.
Pieces says called a Zack Sabre Jr.
That's very, very good. Top 3 for sure. I don't know if it Zillow Nightingale and Bam Bam Bungalow are really, really good. But called a Zack Sabre Jr. and Northern Lights Duplex.
Yeah, man. That is a solid top 5.
Top 3, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's oof. Called a Zack Sabre Jr. is really great. Meet Norma says Sour Grap Singe family home. Don't know. I'm sorry. Bizarro Big L says I'm
just Taylor Swift. I don't know things. What?
It says the thievery is weekly now. Hammer and Anvil elbows. BCC. Okay. Discount versions of Neck Strong. Oh, this isn't.
That's not a pun.
No, he's just talking about everything now. He's talking about all this other stuff. Discount versions of Neck Strong. That's JD McDonald. Powerhouse Vaughn and now a J Driller. That parking lot better hope to never get invaded. Then here's the pun. Luis, if you're gonna do this, just excise the pun from the bigger thing and just put the pun in here because I was very confused. Your home is your Dalton Castle.
Oh, boys.
There we go. Now I get it. Ricardo the Reindeer Game Master says AJ Stucco.
My childhood home was made out of stucco. It was beautiful.
Jambeard says, in honor of Kate's sweater, Duke Hudson backyard.
Oh, very nice. Got my Hudson Yards. New York sweater.
Good. Lieutenant Photo says Duke Hudson. Housing and urban development.
Very, very well done.
Alpha Bill says Braun Ottoman. Solo Sink Oa, and Alba
nice.
Fireplace. Kim
Allie
Gray.
just showed up and wants to know what's on your head. Hi, Allie sees. It's a scarf that is Basset Hound ears. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Kim Gray says chambermaid punk.
Very nice.
This is really good. This is really, really good from CO. Virbo. Not a Verbo.
Oh,
but a Virbo.
very good.
That's in the top 10 for sure.
Very good.
True Infamous says Cot Edge House.
On this day, I am cozy.
Chris Pereira. Well, now you got S Crow Sting too, so I'm not sure who. I don't know who give credit for it, but that's also
Sometimes
that's great.
we're doubled.
Sometimes we get doubled up. Chris Pereira says Dalton Castle.
Very nice.
Lieutenant Photo says Finn-ish Basement Balor. Ian Riccaboni says from Meet Normus Master Bathroom. Meet Normus like enormous Master Bathroom. Meet Normus Master Bathroom.
All right.
True Infamous says Duke Hudson. Like you live in a hut.
Oh, okay. That counts.
Lieutenant Photo says big built-ins. Is that like big Bronson Reed? Big built-ins Reed? I'm not really sure. Chris Pereira
Big
says
Bill. Like Big Bill.
Oh, big built-ins. Okay.
I got you.
Chris Pereira says Fannie Mae Young.
Very nice.
I saw one in the chat earlier when we just started off that said Big Casa instead of Big Cass, and I like that one a lot.
That's really good. That's really good.
True Infamous says T-Barn Dominium. Lieutenant Photo says Grayson Drywaller.
Very nice.
CO from the Rickabone Zone sent in Dalton Castle. We got that one already.
Thank you.
I like this one from Ricardo. Says 1, 2, 3 kids bedroom. And Ian Riccaboni induced timeshare.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Now I will say I had to pull one up that is not a super chat, but because Ian Riccaboni is in the chat and donates so many things to us, I felt like in his honor I could pull up Leon Riccaboni.
Leon Riccaboni is really good. All right. Joe Gacy went from threatening suicide on top of the roof to hiding out under the ring for his new gimmick is
he hangs out in weird spots.
His new gimmick is Hornswoggle? Like what are we doing?
You just never know where he's gonna be. You never know where he's gonna
he cut a promo on his phone under the ring. Like as though he was there for all the matches, and Vic Joseph was like, is Joe Gacy under the ring right now? Why is he still under the ring? And Booker's like, are you gonna go talk to him? Like, leave you here doing commentary by yourself? No way.
No siree.
So we get Ariana Grace versus Carmen Petrovic. And as I thought, we were wrong about who the heel was. At least they were swerving us because Ariana Grace cheats to she claws the eyes to be able to hit her finisher to beat Carmen Petrovic. So I think this constitutes you thought that because Carmen Petrovic started it by calling her annoying, even though Ariana Grace is annoying, her heart's in the right place and she just wants the best for everybody. But actually, she's a conniving heel and will do whatever she can to win. Now, all of that being said, none of that matters because for some friggin' reason, Joe Gacy slipped out from underneath the ring, ran and got the ring bell and ran away with it up the ramp. And everyone was like, what? Like, as though, was he think he was going to stop the match from happening? And when the match was over, the ring announcer was like, I guess I'll call it because the timekeeper's like, I don't have a bell. And then standing in the audience is Joe Gacy digging the bell because he's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a recruitment tactic for a new stable. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll let it play out because I respect Joe Gacy. But
all right.
He feels like almost a lunatic fringe of sorts.
He does.
Joe Gacy.
Somehow.
I like Ariana Grace more and more week over week. I like that she's a heel here. She looked good. Carmen looked better than in her first match for sure. She had a cool vignette with the martial arts stuff.
Right.
But Ariana Grace looked really solid, and it's much easier to settle into this type of character, I feel like, when you are a heel. So I'm glad that she is a heel because it makes more sense all around.
Right.
Plus, she calls wrestling fans smelly on Twitter, and I find that funny.
Luis says, can we just get to the part where Joe Gacy hits a Uranagi on someone onto a stack of tacks? I mean, I hope that's where we're going with this. It does not feel... I don't know what we're doing with this. But Ariana Grace, man, she's got such a hill to climb for me.
Sure.
The gimmick is so rotten that I does she believe she is currently in a beauty pageant? Because that's the only thing that makes any sense for her to wear the tiara and the sash everywhere. I hate gimmicks like this. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you have fully established Toni Storm is a crazy woman.
Right.
You haven't really done that with Ariana Grace.
No.
Because and in NXT, just wearing a sash and a tiara and saying I'm Miss NXT doesn't make you crazy because everybody else has a wacky gimmick. You know what I mean? Like,
they go in reverse of what sounds creative in that they start outlandish and then they work their way down to something normal instead of, to your point, having a motivation for why a character would act that way. Like, it feels like they look at 11 templates and they choose one and they go as far out as they can with that template and then they back into something normal. I think Ariana Grace is doing... I feel like the performer is doing what she can pretty well with what she's been given. I don't think what she's been given is very good, for the same reason that I had issues with Maximum Male Models. And I look, friend of the show, Mansois, okay? But like, it was the translation to how does it get to a wrestling ring that was always the stumbling block. That happens in NXT all the time for me. Why do I care that Tiffany Stratton's a daddy's girl when she was that? Why is she a wrestler? Those kinds of things. So that's where this is stuck in for me. But I do think the performer is doing a decent enough job with what she's been given. But yeah, what she's been given is a little mushy.
So earlier in the night, the Beach is talking to Double Vest and Horse Girl about Double Vest getting into the thing, and then Lexis King walks up and says mean words to the Beach for no reason. And then remember what we were talking about last night, how Nia Jax came in and started talking shit to Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler was like, "Shut up, Nia! Shut your hole!"
She said,
"Let me fix your arm." And then Zoe was like, "Listen, thank you, but I don't need anybody talking for me." By contrast, tonight is like, "Hey, you need to get some comeuppance," says Double Vest. "So why don't you and your beard get in the ring tonight, because Brooks here is going to beat you up." And Brooks is like, "I am? Yeah, I am." I'm like, okay, great. Well, now I just hate Brooks because he has got no spine. And
That's kind of been the story of his life, though, right? Like, it's been, when they were first introduced to us, I was never like in love with anything that they did, but they were like two beer drinking brawlers who got in a fight and then were like, "I kind of like your style, kid," and that was like enough of a story for me, especially at that time at NXT, where it like made sense. And obviously, it devolved into the point where we're calling them Double Vest in the Beach. And it obviously ended up being a Hallmark movie with a porn accountant for a long time. But like the goofy, I'm a spineless virgin stuff, like I don't like it. Also, if anybody volunteers you for a fight, you should automatically be saying, "What the heck, man?" So
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, as Luis pointed out, Beach's character started out as a bar brawler. That was his thing.
Yeah.
And now he's just like,
No, he's just Beach.
I
And
don't
he's
know.
not Beach the bar brawler.
Yeah, he just doesn't do that.
Oh
So,
God, did we do it to them?
they might have.
It might be our fault.
Um,
But that can't
So-
be because we called the Creeds walking loaves of white bread, and now look at them. So
now look at them; they're amazing.
I've taken responsibility.
We get Lexus King sliding into frame on his chair, doing a risky business while seated, and
Just take them old records off the shelf.
and we get our match with double vests and horse girl at ringside. It's fine. You know, it is what it is. And then Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are watching it, and Carmelo says, I gotta go take care of something. And he leaves. What he wants to take care of is to go downstairs. Maybe he is downstairs. I'm not sure. But go down to the ring and jump up onto the apron with double vest being like, what are you doing? You're gonna ruin the match for my friend. And there's a bunch of referees trying to stop him. Like, why aren't referees trying to stop everybody that comes down the ramp and interferes in every match? I don't understand what we're doing this. So yeah. Anyway, he only succeeds in distracting the Beach long enough and the ref in the ring long enough to get Lex King to cheat, and then his finisher and pin the Beach. So
I'm very concerned that they genuinely think Lexus King is cool.
yeah, me too. Because he ain't.
I have spent the past 24 hours saying how much I hate the CM Punk promo. At least he walked to the ring.
Yeah, it's true.
What is the sliding chair?
Yep.
If you make the Cody Vader look like reasonable and tame, something's wrong. What says I want to fight? Like I'm sliding it on a chair.
I don't know. As Luis says, what popped into his mind during the match was in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my days. It's definitely not that though. So now we get to the thing that I'm the angriest about on the show. Okay.
Oh, fun. Okay.
They did all of these vignettes for all of their former North American champions who were coming back to stop Wes Lee from becoming North American champion. That is the only reason they're here. That's it. If they're heels, fine. But only one of them is a heel. Cameron Grimes is never on TV. I don't know what the hell he is, but he's definitely not a heel. Johnny Gargano is definitely a babyface. He's the truest babyface maybe in all of wrestling. Okay? Currently. Whenever he's a babyface, there's nobody better. Okay? So, they don't have him and Wes Lee being like, hey, Wes, listen. Sean called me up and told me to come down here and do this, and I don't like this. Because if I win, I get nothing. But if you win, you get a chance to go on and beat Dominic, and everybody wants to see Dominic lose that title. Let's be honest. He's a stain on the legacy of the North American Championship. Nobody cares more about that than me. I'm the only 3-time champion.
I'm Johnny freaking.
But if I get in the ring with you in this thing and I beat you, if I pin you, then you don't get to do that. I don't want to be in this match. I don't want to stand in the way of you going to Deadline. And Wes Lee says, no, Johnny, I need to do this. I need to prove that I'm as good as all these people. I want you to go out there and do your best and try and beat me tonight. Because honestly, if I can't beat you while you're trying to beat me, I don't deserve to go on and try and get that title back. And he and Johnny Gargano shake hands and pledge that they're going to do everything. Have Cameron Grimes involved too. Bronson doesn't give a damn. Bronson's there to smash anybody. He doesn't care.
No, yeah, he wants to.
But like, if they didn't have any of that, so I don't understand why Cameron Grimes and Johnny Gargano ever throw a punch at each other. It doesn't matter. Why are they? What do they get out of it? Like, bring 3 heels. I don't care if they're former North American champions. That's all entirely arbitrary. Bring 3 heels in. And then mention that you offered a $5,000, $10,000 bonus to the guy who pins Wes Lee. That's enough. Or the most obvious thing, and this would even work if they weren't heels, the winner, if they beat Wes Lee, gets Wes Lee's title shot. But on commentary, Dominic said, no, if Cameron Grimes or Johnny Gargano or Bronson Reed pin Wes Lee, they don't get a title shot. And Booker's like, that's gangsta. I'm like, no, that's freaking stupid.
The thing I think they were going for was Dominic and Mommy are some strategic mastermind in stopping Wes Lee. And what they made instead was something really stupid. If it was just winner gets a title shot all day, because Cameron Grimes kind of never got to finish his story. Johnny Gargano, of course he's coming back for that title.
I want to be the fourth. I want to be the 4-time champion. Why wouldn't I want to be the 4-time champion?
Yeah, I would like to be a Fightful champion, but Joel Pearl never puts that on the line. So
that's true.
I wish somebody would do something about. Oh my God, it's Sean Ross Sapp.
It is Wednesday.
You know what that means.
Yep.
While I'm here, I'll just say FightfulSelect.com. We have some very pertinent stuff to plug because Corey Brennan, a new hire of Fightful, has had NXT scoops the last couple of weeks. A whole lot of stuff. So I'm very, very happy about that. So if
seems like you scooped up the right guy, Sean.
Yeah.
Seems like you're the one with the scoops at the end of the day because you scooped the scooper for NXT.
Gotta be real. That joke makes me want to die a little bit.
Welcome to what we do here. We're doing house puns, and we got Zillow Nightingale. We got Bam Bam Bungalow. We got
Bam Bam Bungalow.
Cul-de-sac Saber Jr. We got, what was the Penta one?
Yeah, well, Fightful had the scoop that Ilya Dragunov would be taking on Nathan Frazier, that Ariana Grace would be taking on Carmen Petrovic, that Joe Gacy would be involved in that match, as well as several other details throughout there. So shout out to FightfulSelect.com. Now, once again, over 10,000 subscribers. You know, some of them are on the free tier that doesn't exist, but hey, whatever, they're getting the notifications. So that makes me happy. But yeah, that's for each of the last 3 episodes of NXT now. Fightful Select has had that. So if you're into that type of thing, because I can tell you one thing, the only NXT related questions I get on my Q&A are, when is this person getting called up? And then when somebody that is never on TV disappears for 3 months, people pretend that they give a shit and they ask me about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where's Oba Femi or whatever?
We've been calling for Oba Femi.
I care about that. That guy's awesome. I want that guy on TV.
He is.
He throws couches. That guy rules.
No, he is. But nobody asked me any questions until he went away.
I know.
No, and that's because we call for it on the show, probably, to be honest.
You probably do.
What's cute about everything. Sean being here is he's like, oh, this is pertinent to NXT, because he thinks the people that watch this show watch NXT, and they do not.
They really don't.
Well, I mean, I don't watch it live either at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Sean, it was a big old week over on Fightful Select. There's been a few things that went up today and all week.
Yeah, people are asking where Wendy Chu is. She is injured, unfortunately. Shawn Michaels did confirm that.
Up.
I do want to say this about NXT coverage. Shawn Michaels sincerely has by far the best media conference calls.
Yeah.
Period. He is admittedly not media trained, but there you go.
That makes for the best calls ever. I wish his booking was as good. Wendy Chu's been on Level Up, so I don't know.
What is it now?
I think, hasn't Wendy Chu been on Level Up? Isn't that what the kids have been telling
she had been injured.
And then she recovered. I guess now she's hurt again.
Oh, damn it. I love her so much.
Me too.
She's so great.
Yeah, she's not been on Level Up in like
a bit.
7 months.
Gotcha. It's like the one wrestling show I don't review.
Watch the fucking product.
Just because you keep tabs on me.
No, I don't watch Level. I don't watch Level Up at all. Level Up is the only WWE show I don't watch at all. I watch Main Event.
I know you do.
But it takes me like 15 minutes to watch Main Event because all I'm doing is watching the matches. Like,
sure, they're 6 minutes long. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not long at all, but also, yeah. I watched Damian Sandow on Main Event get progressively less inspired. I watched his career. I just watched him stop working out and stop tanning and all that stuff.
It's forfeit. You watched him forfeit, which is
yeah. I watched those matches between 2014, 2015, 2016. I watched him versus Titus O'Neil for 4 minutes.
You know what? Scott George in the chat brings up a good point. We even do still technically provide coverage of that because Steven Jensen watches Level Up.
Yes, he does.
And he covers it on the Weekender. We've got you covered, bro. We've got you covered.
That's right.
I couldn't help but notice.
I at least make an effort. I make an effort that between this Overbooked and the paywall, everything is covered. If it's on a screen as best we can, it is talked about by somebody on Fightful. I remember when I first started podcasting, people were like, "Oh, well, you need to review everything." The hell I do. The hell I do. I know. Listen,
review everything. Why don't you review everything? Let's talk.
Listen. We got somebody in the chat right now saying SRS getting hyped for his match this Saturday against Shazza McKenzie at Black Label Pro. Yes, I asked Marco Stunt if he had any steroids I could borrow. I asked Anna Bauer if I could buy her or borrow her kangaroo or her boomerang. It didn't work.
Yeah, it's so weird she wouldn't let you.
Yeah. But you know what? I asked some other people for help too in a video that will be dropping on Fightful and my socials tomorrow. I asked MJF and Dakota Kai. Who else? Zaya Brookside, Deanna Perrazzo, Steve Macklin, Eric Ademia. I asked them all, Veda Scott, for advice on how to beat up Shazza McKenzie. And I feel like I got no great advice at all. At all.
I'm sorry to hear that.
In fact, I asked MJF how to kick her ass, and he just said, well, there's a lot of surface area, so if you walk forward, you're probably going to hit a piece of it. So there you go.
That sounds like Max. That sure does. Someone in the chat said, can we have Alex and Kate review SRS versus Shazza? I'm actually going to try and do a watch along of it as long as it's available to stream, and the chats from it will be on my YouTube channel, but they'll get donated to NAMI, which is where Sean donates his pay as well. So
yeah, no ruse in the ring. Val, it's a street fight. It's a Berwyn street fight. And everybody knows that kangaroos are native to Berwyn, Illinois.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's like a fun little Illinois callback.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's great to see you guys. I'm in the middle of watching Field of Dreams for the first time in my life.
Can you go to bed for the first time in your life?
I've never watched it. Kevin Costner rules.
What?
He's phenomenal.
He is phenomenal. I don't know if I would have agreed to work here if I had known you hadn't seen Field of Dreams. So
you can quit if you want.
I feel like that is not
make
what I
my
want
life
to do.
more difficult, but you can quit.
I don't want to. Well, now you're watching it, first of all.
Okay.
And one of the first things I did here, you paid me to watch Little Big League, so I'm not going to go ahead and quit over baseball movies. Because that's ridiculous that I
What's the best baseball movie?
I mean, Field of Dreams is certainly... that's probably it for me.
It took me 20 years to watch Bull Durham. That was very good. I'm partial to Moneyball, even though I was alive when that happened. So I'm like, maybe you should have brought up Tim Hudson and Barry Zito and like that incredible staff you had. But I do love that movie. Major League is an easy
Major
one.
League is right up there too. There's like the A baseball movies and then like the B and C tier ones, which are like your Angels in the Outfield, your Little
Mr.
Big
3000
League Rookie of the Year, Mr. 3000.
Yeah, like there are some that baseball is a very easily it's very easy to turn into a movie. But it's been a while since there have been some really good like sports movies. And I miss that era when there was like a good sports movie every year.
Yeah. It's true.
Just not happening anymore. I don't know what's going on. It's making me sad.
We told all the stories. about
Yeah.
sports.
And we get more wrestling movies than a lot of
I know.
sports
We got
movies
Iron
these
Claw.
days.
You gonna have Iron Claw scoops, Sean?
I do actually.
Do you? Sick.
Yeah,
I'm
Wow.
excited.
They invited me, so it was funny. They invited me to Dallas to do the red carpet, and I was like, "Listen, that's not really in my plans." They're like, "Oh, we'll fly you out," and I go, "You can't do that with what I do. Like, there's a conflict there." But I saw like Chris Van Vliet, I think Emily May were there, but MJF. I think this is out there, but MJF did a lot of the contributions, like recommendations of how some of the wrestling stuff should go. Obviously, Chavo was heavily involved as well. Well, my spoiler is there's not going to be an Iron Claw 2.
Oh, no sequel? No Iron Claw the sequel?
No sequel.
Dang.
No sequel.
That's
I'll
a
see you guys.
surprise. Go to bed. Go
See,
sleep. You
I'm
crazy
good.
man.
I'm good. I slept last night. So
Good.
okay. Here's another scoop, rather WrestleCade scoop. Last year I almost died from COVID after I got back from WrestleCade.
Yes, I remember.
This week I got back and I was starting to feel a little stuffy, starting to feel a little sore in the throat. Tested negative for COVID. As it turns out, you're supposed to sleep.
Yeah, that's how that goes. Sleep is neat.
I slept. I'm good. There we go.
Well, you got off the plane and then CM Punk showed up at Survivor Series on the plane.
Got some
And
more
then
news.
you did your
got
job. And
yeah,
I just assumed you hadn't slept yet. So.
More news on that on Fightful Select on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, there you go. And we had the Danielson news drop earlier.
AKA today.
AKA today.
There you go.
I love how he says, like, it's tomorrow. You guys run the show so late. And I'm like, you just showed up and extended it. But
Yeah, we'd be done by now.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
And Sean made it sound like it's unreasonable that I was like, go to bed. That man does not sleep, especially with CM Punk.
He said go to bed, and he said I slept last night. That's what he said.
Yeah, which means I'm good for the next month and a half.
Right,
Sean.
The match was great. It was a great match.
What match are we talking about?
The main event.
The main event.
But-
We're at the main event. It's time for the main event.
But it doesn't make sense.
Correct.
The match,
It makes
the
no
match
sense.
is honestly, you watch it. These are four great wrestlers wrestling a really great match, and none of it makes sense. I'm telling you, I do not understand why Johnny Gargano ever pins Cameron Grimes. I don't get it. What do you get out of crushing another man's dreams, a fellow babyface? I don't understand. If all you got to do is say there's a title shot on the line for the guys who win. But
That's it.
It's not.
It's that one simple adjustment. And if you asked me who I think Johnny Gargano would prefer to be North American champion, since that's like his belt, I'm gonna say he would rather Wes Lee be it for babyface reasons and in ring quality reasons.
Also, like, okay, Cameron Grimes needs something because he's got nothing on SmackDown. Bronson Reed just wants to just crush everybody.
Yes.
Johnny Gargano lost to Dominic Mysterio on Raw. He doesn't like Dominic Mysterio. He listen, Wesley, you know, I think you're great, but that's my title. I'm the only 3-time champion. Dominic cannot be champion anymore. If you win this match, great. I'll be cheering you on. But I got to win this match because I got to take that title, my title, back for. Just give him one scene with. I could not believe they did not have a Wes Lee and Johnny Gargano scene.
You couldn't believe it, really?
I mean, because
Is this your first time watching NXT?
Of
course they didn't give it.
Somebody who works there's got to have a friggin' brain in their head.
Wait, well, let's talk about something that made it obviously. The match itself was great. You're right, without the circumstances around it, but it was made, infinitely worse by Dominic being on commentary.
Oh my God, he's just so bad.
I don't understand what he's good at.
I don't understand what he does.
It ain't commentary. If Booker T is the second worst person on commentary, something is wrong. He was awful on commentary. He added nothing, and the only thing he said was like, "It was mommy's idea." I know Dominic Mysterio is not for me anyway, but like objectively, he was awful on commentary.
Right.
Awful. Match was great. Bronson Reed's awesome. Johnny Gargano is incredible.
Listen.
Wes Lee is fantastic. It also, because there was no title shot on the line, created an inevitable outcome that we knew was going to happen. Right. So it,
obviously, Wesley's
in so many ways.
This is the thing. This is what I said on Twitter. It doesn't matter what reason you come up with for everybody in the match to be trying, because we all know Wesley's going to win the match anyway.
Of course.
You have to come up with a reason, but it doesn't even matter which reason you come up with. But the first thing you have to do is give everybody in the match a motivation. And because you have not ever set up the convention of the winner gets paid 5 times more than the loser or whatever, then money cannot be a motivation.
None of them have history with Wes Lee.
No.
Not a single one. So there's no story and there's no additional circumstance that makes this make sense. No. So just do it as a title shot. And we know Wes Lee is winning anyway, but you could plant a seed of doubt in my head that, especially Gargano.
Right.
Especially Gargano. Because I'm like, Gargano and that title are synonymous, and it's something that people would really want.
Honestly, if there were 2 heels and Gargano, if Cameron Grimes was working heel, he's not though, but if he had been, even like tweener, and you do the ending that they did, which is have Ivar come in and stop Bronson Reed from hitting the tsunami, then they brawl to the back because they're the Chicken and Peter Griffin, and they're going to do this forever. That's fine. But if you do that, and all you have left in the ring is Wes Lee and Johnny Gargano and a heel Cameron Grimes, Wes Lee and Johnny Gargano look at each other, double super kick, and then Johnny Gargano allows Wes Lee to pin him, and then shakes Wes Lee's hand and holds him up and says, "Good luck at Deadline." Like, I want Johnny Gargano to be the good guy. He's so good at being the good guy. I don't know, man. I thought the match was great, and ultimately didn't mean anything. So
it meant something. It just didn't mean something that made sense. Like one thing
has not been true in literal years. I wish it was. I wish it was too. Reference it at all anymore. They don't reference it at all. If it was still his gimmick, great. Also, there's no extra money in it. I wish there was, but they've never established that the winner gets paid more than the loser. Not once, not ever. So even if his gimmick was money, he's not getting any extra money out of it. If the part of the match was, if Cameron Grimes pins Wes Lee, Dominic Mysterio is going to hand him an envelope with $10,000 in it, I absolutely believe Cameron Grimes would have done that.
Bring back the stonks.
Bring back the stonks, but no.
You look amazing with that on your head. I'm sorry, Sean didn't acknowledge how pretty you were.
I mean, honestly, it was kind of weird of him not to.
It is. Alex, the thing with this match was the hook didn't really make sense.
No.
But I'll tell you a hook that makes plenty of sense if you've got voiceover needs. And that's Matthew Hooks. Who's back supporting Fightful. And we ask that you go support Matthew Hooks. International brands, national brands. He's the voice of the voiceless, okay? CM Punk proved yesterday he no longer has that position. That is a Matthew Hooks thing, okay? Go to hookedinvoiceovers.com to check out more. And you might be like, I checked out the website and it was good. Well, now he redid the website and it's great. It's even better than it was. And before you were like, please, I go to this website. I got everything I need. I've got the reels that I can check out and see. And he's like, no. I'm going to level it up for you at hookedinvoiceovers.com. You can also email him at hookedinvoiceovers@gmail.com and follow him on the Twitter X thing. I should probably update this little overlay we've got with the X. But Hooked in Voice, check it out. Supporter of the show. Sincerely fantastic. You can check out his demos there. You can email him for everything you need from both an actual read standpoint, and he also does some work around like the editing and the mastering of that stuff. So if you have any needs in the space, he is your guy. He sponsors this show specifically We are extremely silly with voiceover work in particular. This is something that Alex is trained in and is good at, and I have 2 impressions. But if you don't want goofball impressions, how dare you? But if you want sincere voiceover work, support Matthew Hooks, who supports us all the time. HookedInVoiceovers.com, new and improved website. Just like you can have new and improved voiceovers to anything that you might need. Check them out. Thank you for supporting Matthew Hooks. We love you here.
CO says, in all seriousness, we found something worse than Booker T on commentary. Booker T and Dom on commentary. Poor Vic Joseph. And
I don't know.
Says,
I don't know
Booker
what he
T
did.
mistook a Death Valley driver for a brain buster.
He mentioned that in the DMs, and yeah. He also said chat GTB earlier in the night.
Chat GTB. Yeah.
Sweet Booker.
Bizarro
Sweet
Big
baby
L
boy
says,
Booker.
if Kate gets to be mad, then I get to be mad about Jack Wagons trying to troll Bryan Danielson. Those comments make me disappointed in a lot of WWE fans. His tweet about his dad made me only respect him more. And Alex can be mad about Jericho, but only for a minute.
Well, Alex is only mad about Jericho. Like, there are no other thoughts, feelings, emotions toward Jericho.
No. Yeah.
So it's just a matter of like peaks and valleys with that.
Right.
I am a lifelong CM Punk fan. And I am not jaded or dumb enough to recognize that his promo yesterday sucked. Okay. I sincerely think once that guy gets in a feud, he will be better because he'll be doing the part of this he's really good at. And I look forward to that day. Some CM Punk stands are insane and think that this is Bryan Danielson's fault now somehow because he was a part of a committee that fired a guy where there was footage that exhibited him in a specific incident that resulted in him getting terminated with cause. I can't tell you how crystal clear that situation has to be for you to get terminated with cause and for you to not fight back when there are literally over $1 million on the line.
Right.
It has not anything to do with Bryan Danielson doing anything except the right thing, which he always does because he's perfect. And the only person who's allowed to say something bad about Bryan Danielson is Nigel McGuinness. Nobody else. Thank you.
Yep. There you go. Thank you. So let's see here. We got a few more puns here, and then we're done. Okay.
And we're cut it off. You hear that?
Here we go. Tom LaValle says Doormat Mysterio, JD McDoorknob, Finn Parlor, Damian Patio, The Judgment Doorway.
All very good.
Meet Norma says Jade Carport versus Mercedes Monet up front. Toodles.
Monet up front. Got it.
Yeah, there we go. Meet Norma says Cabana in the Xavier Woods Power Down House.
Very nice.
Jam Beard says Pretty Peter Pillow. Tyrone Kidd says Aboden. Not
like Abaddon, but abode.
Aboden.
Like an abode.
June Norma says maximum mid-century models.
Very nice.
And also DIY
That's
in your house. Like DIY. There you go.
What was the mid-century? Ms-century modern. That was another one.
Mid-century modern. Yeah, mid-centuries. These are some good ones, you guys.
I will say we are cut off for super chats, but we're at 99. So if you do one more and it's a Ricky Rainbow one, we'll allow it. That's it.
All right. Yeah, we don't have any Ricky Rainbows right now.
We don't. And Allie's here.
I know. Me Norma says fatal foreclosure. Fatal foreclosure. And Nia jacks up your rent.
The worst landlord.
Tyrone Kidd says the bruiserweight Hutch, not Butch. And Shanty, skyscraping Shanty.
Very good. Very well done.
Louisville says Den Boys. Reach for the sky, boy. Den Boys. Ricardo, the Reindeer Game Master, says Steiner Landline.
Very nice.
Jam Beard says the Steiner recliner.
Sitting right
Chris
there.
Pereira says Samoan drop ceiling. And Chris Pereira says loan amortization night.
Very nice.
Jam Beard says I can't be the only one shocked that Kate has a tattoo. I figured she had virgin skin and was too afraid to get ink. LOL.
No, I've got 2 and I would like 800 more.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Gotta have one, guys, otherwise I can't.
We can't end the show. The stream just goes on.
Like how Ricky Rainbow with these, like
yeah, and a light up necklace.
Yeah, I mean, you guys.
Wow, we got someone who just walked in and is here for the live show for the first time. You were walking in at literally the most insane part where we sing songs and do voices. So we got one. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Tom LaValle. We peer pressured you into donating money to us.
Thank you. All right, we're good now. Here we go. Bizarro Big L says, hail the tribal meat. I raise my turkey leg to the meat slapping we get this week to top Jambeard's madness, which we'll do next. Linder doing the Goonies down here speech, but like a grandmother complaining to their grandkid. Let's see if I can do 3 pairs of glasses. Here we go. All right, let's see if I can get this here. Hold on. All right. Hold on. I gotta get the thing up there. Oh no, not that one. I don't want it over there. I want it over here. Hold on. Okay. Don't say that. Don't ever say that. Goonies never say die. Don't you realize the next time you see Sky, it'll be over another town. The next time you take a test, it'll be in some other school. Our parents, they want the best of stuff for us. But right now, they got to do what's right for them because it's their time. Their time up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here. And that's all over the second we ride up Troy's bucket. Oh, my goodness. The amount of times I've taken a ride up Troy's bucket, let me tell you.
You are so bad.
No, listen, Troy's bucket just comes along and I'd be like, I got to take a ride on Troy's bucket.
You're so bad. We also have original characters person who just joined.
Okay.
Usually it's wrestling impressions. Occasionally it's original characters and other weird things.
Yeah, this is good. Here we go. So Tom LaValle wants Dusty Rhodes to read Punk's promo from last night's Raw. And Luis says this extends your complaint time frame for 24 hours, Kate.
Thank you. I get a whole extra day?
A whole extra day to complain about it. Here we go. Looks like hell froze over, baby. And when I mean hell froze over, this is me standing in a WWE ring on Monday Night Raw with a live microphone in my hand, Daddy. I don't mean the fact that apparently a Blackhawks fan is universally loved inside the Predators' yard. Okay, sorry, I had to. You guys know that, right? I gotta be me, Daddy. And lately, I've been feeling a little bit more like myself since Saturday, which was a career highlight for me, if you will. I'm trying to come up with the words and the language to explain all of you exactly how I feel. I've come to 2 words. I'm afraid to say them honestly. It's not because they're not true. It's because of how true they actually are. It's a little bit corny and a little bit cheesy and not very CM Punk, but I've changed. An American dream, that's me, Daddy, once taught me, long as you speak from the heart, you cannot go wrong because it is the truth. And this is the truth. I'm home. I've come to this place, familiar place. I didn't know how I was going to react or how it would go. That's hard times. But it makes me feel like my old self because this is where I belong. This is home. I've been gone for 10 years. For over 10 years, you people never forgot me. Maybe when I wanted to forget me. That is powerful. You are powerful. This is a lot of talking about nothing, baby. It's a long-ass promo. It's so much. Nobody here they never talk about the factory workers getting kicked in the butt. This is a terrible promo. Who wrote this? Was it you, Bruce? Bruce, did you write this? It's terrible. I'm done.
Even Dusty Rhodes can't make that promo work.
Nope.
I've changed. I'm boring now. And I don't have my crutch to lean on of hating the other place. Chicago, 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 Bret Hart reference hockey.
Hold on.
Sucked.
I gotta put these actually back on. I forgot what I'm doing here. Here we go. Okay. I don't want to give everybody epileptic seizures, so hold on. One more. Thank you so much to Tom Lavelli who sent this in.
Once again, an extremely serious wrestling review show.
Hello. Tom Lavelli sent in a request for Ricky Rainbow, that's me, to read a poem by Emily Dickinson entitled Hope is the Thing with Feathers. And it goes, hope is the thing with feathers that perches into soul and sings a tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. Thank you.
I'm just letting CJ know that, that it's just,
No.
We just have two original characters that got requested.
No.
The idea that we got no wrestling character requests in the jukebox today, it just
we got one. We got Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, we did get Dusty. How dare I?
He's been dead for a while.
He has.
But
how old are you? It's kind of a mystery.
You don't know, because I'll tell you what. Something that's not a mystery. This is a wig.
What?
So you don't. Yeah, it's true. So you don't know. It's not true. It's not true. It is true. It's not true. You don't know. It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in an egg roll wrapper, etc. So Spooko says I have no idea where Ricky Rainbow came from and what, but the Ceases can tell Spooko where this came from. So there you are.
The rest are not.
The rest are not. Ricky Rainbow was a character that came out when I put on this wig when I was playing restaurant with my 5-year-old daughter.
Which might be a typo for restaurant.
It might be a restaurant is how she pronounces it. So that's it.
That's it. The rest is a mystery.
Yeah, Louise says no Nathan Frazier jukebox because he died tonight. R.I.P. Nathan.
Rest in peace, Nathan Frazier.
Yeah, that's it. So sorry, CJ. This is just a thing we do at the end of the show. People, can you give me a highlight? Is this review channel? Well, you could like skip back an hour and we'll be talking about. Wrestling. Well, we might be talking about puns, but I mean. This is kind of a thing that we've been doing.
Of a variety hour. We do talk about wrestling in here. We do cover the show.
Talk about wrestling here on this particular show, but this particular show is not like any of the other shows on this channel. So if you don't like the brand of stuff that's happening on NXT, so you missed NXT. So Lexis King slid into the frame on a chair and then beat up a man called the Beach. And then another man named Carmelo ran down and tried to distract Lexis King, which is actually Brian Pillman Jr. But he actually distracted the Beach. Also, Bron Breakker, we call him Breakker because he's got Bron Breakker's got 2 K's in his name, so you have to pronounce them both because never are 2 K's silent. So he beat a man named Eddy Thorpe who had taped ribs, which was odd because most of his offense was cross bodies, which you would not do if you had broken ribs, but he did a lot of them.
He did.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Pieces. I forgot. The ring bell was stolen.
It was, and it was a key player in tonight's episode of NXT.
Yeah, that's right. See, CJ, the people who are here are our own brand of people, and although we have the smallest audience of a live show on the Fightful YouTube, we generate the most money because we have very, very loyal fans.
We do, and if you stick around for a few weeks in a row, you'll start to pick up on our very
You'll figure it out.
specific humor and
Yeah.
our lore, which there is a lot of. We have to go where Sean's gonna yell at us.
Yeah, we're gonna go now. Goodbye. Thank you. Keep cool, gabagoos. Bye bye, CJ.
Toodles.